Hello.
Wow. Episode 2 of Take It For What It's Worth podcast. We here.
We back.
We back and we live. I am Maya, your favorite branding strategist and favorite realtor.
I'm Desiree, your favorite business credit coach, personal credit coach. Help you get to this money, help you get to this bag.
Bow down.
Bow down.
And if you are just now tuning in to Take It For What It's Worth, our podcast discuss business, relationship, mindset, and how to obtain success the right way.
Let's go.
Let's get into it.
Let's dive.
Hey, how was your day today?
Today it was actually a productive day. I'm going to say that, Maya. How was your day?
My day was good. It was a productive day today for me, too.
It was definitely a productive day today. I will say that. I got a lot of things done. Of course, we here, we shooting, we rolling.
Lights, camera, action.
Let's go.
You dig? All right. So last week, we discussed consistency. We discussed self-discipline.
And mindset, accountability. That's what it was. My accountability.
But we also touched on mindset too. I think some of the things we was talking about with mindset is that people in this generation feel like they need to struggle, and feeling like you need that struggle. And we were talking about upbringing a little bit, and we said we was going to talk about it today. So,
right,
how do you feel like upbringing plays a factor into being the person that you are today?
So I do want to touch bases on the last episode where I went into you all. It's not about, where you come from, but it's about where you're going.
Right.
So, and I touched bases on how me and Maya was brought up different and things of that nature. So I do want to dive into it. To answer your question, Maya, you don't have to struggle, or you don't have to, what would you say, be spit with a silver spoon, a silver spoon?
Yeah, being fed with a silver spoon.
I feel like it's all about your determination, your mindset, where you want to go, what's your why.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah.
I agree with you on that. I think as a child, we don't know nothing when we come into this world.
Right.
So I think it also goes into who you were raised by to see determination, to see hustle, to see work ethic. You get what I'm saying?
Like that.
For you to even know what that is.
And I like that, Maya, because even when I was growing up, my biggest, goal was to do the opposite of what everybody was doing in my family. So, if my mom did this, I'm doing the opposite. That's just, I was the person who had to do the opposite of what I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. A little bit. I was the type where my mom, she always would tell me things, and I'd be like, you can't tell me about your experience. I need to experience it myself. And she used to hate when I say that as a kid, but I felt like I couldn't learn the true life lessons if I didn't experience things myself.
That makes sense. And sometimes even your parents or your friends, you got friends that tell you all the time, like, going on like relationship, like where, this guy's not good for you or this friend's not good for you. And sometimes you have to go through it yourself, even if you heard that this person wasn't no good for you or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So sometimes we still have to go through that
experience
ourselves.
Yeah, to have that own lesson.
Definitely.
I will say though, I don't know, for some reason, I don't know if it was my dad, because I do feel like me and my dad talk about this all the time.
Right.
About hustle. And I feel like that's something that can't be taught. I think that's a bloodstream thing. I think that's something that is within you. Because if it was a taught thing, every sibling would have that same mindset.
Makes sense.
You get what I'm saying? Like not saying that none of my siblings don't hustle, but I feel like I have a different energy behind my hustle, work ethic type of vibe.
Yeah, everybody else.
You know what I'm saying? I think I got that a lot from my dad, but then I also saw my mom work a lot too, doing multiple jobs, and I just always wanted to work early, and I think that's kind of enticed my my idea of hustle and that mindset of wanting more and success and things like that. Mm-hmm. Now there are people who play sports, like you play sports in high school.
Right.
I worked in high school. Did you have a job in high school?
Yeah, like my 11th and 12th grade year, I was a CNA for 2 years. So
okay.
Definitely. I started, no, I want to say, I'm sorry, not 11th grade is when I took the class to get my certificate.
Gotcha.
I actually started working in the 12th grade. I don't know if they still have it, but
that's dope.
You could leave school early long as you had all your credits. You
could go work.
And then I used to work from 3 to 11.
Wow.
As a 12th grader, as a CNA. Certified nursing assistants for you all who don't know the abbreviation of CNA.
At 12th grade.
In 12th grade.
17, 18 years old.
17, 18 years old.
What made you want to get a job? For me, I hate asking for stuff. So I always had that where, like, since I was 13, 14, I just wanted my own money. I don't want nobody to tell me no for nothing. What was your job thing?
Well, mine was I had to. So it was more so. And when I say I had to, it was... I wasn't able to get everything that I wanted growing up. So when I got to the age where I'm like, you know what, I will work and I will go get it myself, whatever I want. And it's so crazy. I tell people this all the time. In my 12th grade, I had to pay my graduation dues and everything. So like as a senior, right? And growing up, most people, their parents pay for it, if I'm not mistaken. But I had to pay for everything. I had to pay for the missing books and things of that nature. So at the end of the day, it was a need. It was almost like it wasn't something that I wanted. It was something that I needed, was to get a job, start getting more money. And this one, it really started hitting me like, you know what? You got to get it out here. You got to get it for yourself.
You got to get out the mud.
Yeah, you got to get out the mud. So that was my why while I was working in 12th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
But back to it, Maya, and it's so crazy because it go all around that. To give a sum up to the ones that's out there that's, I don't got, that got all these excuses and things of that nature. I want to let y'all know, like, nobody can take away who you are. It doesn't matter how you was raised, y'all. It's the mindset, y'all. Yes. It was so many bumps in the road, tribulations, trial and tribulations that I done went through to where I could have just been the same of how I was raised.
Right.
And to let y'all know, I was raised in the hood, okay? Yeah. Like, the hood. Like, for sure, shouts out to my grandma because, of course, she did her best to her best ability, taught us what she can. But once again, she was my grandmother, so she was already stuck in the mindset of what her mom taught her and what her mom taught her, which was all wrong, you all. So I'm glad in 2023 that we can even have podcasts like this to even say
those things.
Say those things. And it's important. So shouts out to my grandma for raising me.
Shouts out to grandma.
But my grandma didn't know. She only knew what her mom taught her. And you know what I mean? So back to what I was saying.
I want to talk to a little bit about environment though, because, I was raised by a single mother. So I necessarily didn't get everything I wanted because it was a single parent in the household.
Right.
But I do feel like environment played a big part. My mom moved us. We were living on the south side of Atlanta, but she didn't want me to go to those schools. So she would drive me every single morning to Cobb County schools. And I think being in that environment.
But you know why I respect that, Mike? Not to cut you off, because even my Duke, single mom or not, she still know what she wanted for her kids. If that meant driving an hour to drop her kids off to school, if that meant getting them in after school activities so they wouldn't go home and go play in the hood with the kids or whatever the case may be, or play in the environment that she don't want her kids to be in. So I respect that. Shouts out to my dudes.
Shouts out to mommy.
I respect that. But what I was saying, you all, it's okay. I was raised by my grandmother, okay? Just a little backstory. Don't know my father, things of that nature. So that saying, and don't ever get me wrong, like to this day, I wish I still had a male figure, a father to raise me. Don't ever get that twisted. But I am still the person who I am today with no father, with the mom in and out my life, and then with a grandmother who did her
the best that she could
to raise me and my sister. So you can turn all of that around. That's what I'm saying. So it don't have to be you come from this silver spoon to become somebody with the silver spoon. You can actually come from the mud, get it out the mud, clean that dirty spoon, and make it a silver spoon. You get what I mean?
Right. It's really, and it's crazy that you said that, because at the end of the day, it's about getting up and continuing to do it, not sitting in something, because everybody has their own thing that they may feel like is hard in life. Even for the people who have silver spoons, they go through things that they feel is extremely hard to deal with.
And it's so crazy you say that, Mike, because they go through things where it's like their parents throw money and
no love and no attention,
because they think that buys everything.
Exactly.
So sometimes,
and it could be a catch-22, and you can get depressed. And there's so many different things that can hold you back from succeeding in your life, whether you didn't have anything or you had a lot.
Something. So guess what? You gotta want it for who?
For yourself.
For yourself. And
you gotta have that mindset to
bump
want
where
it.
you came from. I'm telling y'all, bump where you came from. You hear me? Matter of fact, most people feel like they got to have a story. We talked about this because the success stories are people that struggled. But you just don't hear the stories about the people that already was born into money because they really don't have no story. Right. So you hear more.
And I think too, sorry to cut you off, guys, but I think too, so many people, it's easy to connect to somebody who doesn't have anything at all, not successful, because even the people I don't even know any like regular celebrities or somebody that's successful who had just a regular life. They wasn't been with the silver spoon, but they wasn't poor. I haven't heard those type of stories, and inspiration, success as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Have to be deep
or it's no middle.
There's
no
saying.
Middle class. You know, and there's those are people in that category as well. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
Or still get successful. So it's not about being the richest or being the poorest, because there's people who had a normal life.
Exactly.
And still made their normal life better. You know what I'm saying? Without having to be.
And once again, it all goes back to, what do you want?
What do you want?
Let me, what do you want?
What do you want? What I'm saying?
Because
what do you want?
It's not what your grandma raised and taught you. It's not what your mama taught you. I hear people all the time when my mama. Sometimes, y'all, we got to erase what Mom Dukes taught us, what grandma taught us, what daddy taught us, because once again, guess who they heard it from? Their mama, their grandma. So sometimes we got to erase it, and we got to figure out where we're trying to go and learn from the people that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but that also goes back to what all my older people say, like, are you hearing me or are you just listening? A lot of the stuff that we hear, it's like subconsciously. It's like when your mom tells you, put your phone down, you know, when you're driving. You know what I'm saying? It's like I hear it. So when you hear something, that's all you know. But if you're really listening to what a person is saying, you can listen well enough to take certain pieces of that advice and make it your own. But you get what I'm saying? But I feel like as kids, all we do is hear repeatedly. We don't get to communicate back to our parents and say how we feel. A lot of kids grow up where it's like, I'm saying what I'm saying, that's it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you take it for what it is, and then you hold on to that, and you make that your livelihood to live off of. And then you're just creating that same generational teaching
over and over again till somebody break it. That goes back to what I'm saying. You know, nobody in my family was an entrepreneur. Nobody in my family understood the route. It's like I could bring something to, like, prime example, shouts out to grandma. I gotta keep shouts out to grandma because she don't know no better. But shouts out to grandma because I used to tell her, like, I'm going to change out my vending machines, or I'm starting this car rental business, and she really didn't understand. She still would ask me about my 9-to-5 job. And at first I used to feel away. I'm not even gonna lie, because I'm like, I'm sitting right here telling you that I'm finna be a full-time entrepreneur. Like, scratch that job, right? But I had to sit back, I had to think and be like, well, that's all. My grandma retired as a special ed school teacher.
Oh, wow.
So that's all she.
Shouts out to grandma.
That's all she know is to work. What's the average? Work 40 years. How it go? 40, 40, 40. Work 40 years, get a 40.
401k, you get your retirement. then you cash out, you get your pension, and then you.
That's what my grandma knows. So entrepreneur is a little scared to her because she was just like,
it's very scary.
Yeah, you still working that job and stuff like that. So y'all just know, even sometimes, that's why the accountability partner come into tact, because and family might not be there.
Knowing what you want out of life,
right?
Because and getting out of the idea of trends, getting up the idea like you want to do something because somebody else is doing it, and because you want to do it because you really, really want to do it. Because the people that we love the most, like our family and like our friends, they not gonna understand. And you got to be able to accept that.
You got to be able to what, Maya?
Accept that.
Facts.
Not take it personal.
Not take it personal.
And still be able to move on. Not second guess what you're saying because you told grandma or you told ma or you told sister what you had. And they like, no, you need to play it by the book. You need to play the game in life. Like my mom told me all the time, just play the game. And to me, I feel like older people believe playing the game is, especially as a Black person, getting a job, staying quiet, you know what I'm saying? But don't do too much.
But let me say this, Maya. I'm tired of playing the game and be safe. I'm tired of being safe. I think the problem is we are being safe.
Yeah,
I'm tired of being safe. Stop saving me. I don't want to. I'm done being safe. I'm going to take the risk. Simple. I'm going to take the risk. Start taking the risk, y'all. This is what I'm coming to. This is my whole rewinding back. Do it. I told y'all on the last podcast. Do it. Scared.
Yeah.
And stop telling. I just said this last night on my live. Stop telling your big ideas to small-minded people. I'm going to say that again. Stop telling your big ideas to small-minded people, because all they're going to do is make your subconscious think twice when your subconscious was ready, when your subconscious told your conscious, let's get it the next morning. But now you have second-guessed yourself because you told your big idea to a small-minded person.
Yeah, facts.
Like,
it's just as simple.
It's just facts.
It's just that simple. It's just that simple. And a lot of people, these small-minded people, it's like they haven't took the risk. You know what I'm saying? You're telling people that are fearful as well. You're telling someone.
But Maya, guess what fear means? No. You fear it because you haven't done it before.
It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. So why we cannot start getting uncomfortable? Why we can't start doing things out of our comfort zone? Why we just can't do it?
So why do you feel like, we tend to look for approval from the people.
But why?
That we love the most.
Who said that was right?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know why we do that.
Because it's real talk.
It's real.
We run to our mom. Shouts out to my mentor, because he said, y'all are going to your mom, your dad, your grandma for entrepreneur life, and they don't even own their own business.
Correct.
I'm going to say that again.
Correct.
We're running to mom, dad, grandma, sister, brother, cousin for any advice on entrepreneurship, and they don't even own their own business.
Right.
That's backwards. And all we can say is, my mama told me this. My grandma told me this. But guess what you got to do? You got to look at where your mom at, where your grandma at, and figure out if that's what you want.
Right.
I'm going to say that again.
Right.
So you taking advice from them for what?
For what?
That's going to hit a lot of y'all, but you taking advice for them for what?
Mm-hmm. And not only taking their advice, but then once you take their, like you stop. People are stopping. People are getting advice and getting so discouraged. That's the part where it's like, I feel like then that idea really wasn't for you. Then that's when I start questioning you. And then that's when it goes back to really knowing why you want to do what you want to do. Because family, they might be with it in the beginning. They might be with it at the end, but you can't allow someone to tell you something and then you just leave it at that. I second guess your integrity as a person.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Because
by the nick of a dime, somebody can make you back off whatever.
Yep. That's not no real entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That's not getting that mindset ready, because if you can't even take that type of battle when it's time for you to negotiate some big bucks, when it's time for you to go over contracts, when it's time for you to go into the bank open up a bank account and they tell you some stuff like no, just off your appearance.
You walk out the door and you never try another facility. Yeah.
Exactly. And you never try again.
And it's so crazy. I'm glad you hit that point because that's almost like personal credit and business credit. We get these denials, Maya, and we give up. But y'all fail to realize a denial letter just told you what to do to get approved for the next time. I'm going to say that again. Y'all fail to realize that the denial letter that you just got, personal or business, just helped you get your next approval and what to do on your next approval.
Right. Sometimes it don't even be necessarily the denial, but how you applied for the stuff. You gave me a super big play one time where I had got denied doing it online.
I don't think they're ready for that play, Mike. But I'm gonna give you a play.
She dropped me. It's like we're not trying all the steps. Right. I ain't gonna say the play, but we ain't trying. We give up on the first no.
We do.
We give up on the first no. And you know, me and my baby, shouts out to Mello, my husband.
Shouts out to Mello.
We talked about. And I don't know if this is just in our community, the Black community, or if it's in all communities. But we talk about how we don't know. Black people can't take no.
You said once we take no, we give up.
We give up. And I said, babe, I really feel like that's more of a male thing than a female thing. I could take more no's than men. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, no, it's just you got to understand when you get a no, when you keep trying, all you gonna do is you just gonna take what you get. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, I kind of feel like that with our parents, like going back to family. Also, too, I think that a lot of people are stuck when you talk about your grandma and even talk about my mom, because I went to college and I got a degree. And my mom still be like, you can use that degree if you want to.
Right.
You can use that degree if you want to. But it's like, I really can't because I'm going to be working from the bottom. It's going to take me years to get there. You know what I'm saying? But it's something. They're so okay with settling for something than nothing. I'd rather have nothing and know in the future that I will have everything.
Come on now, say that again, Maya.
I'd rather have nothing now.
Right.
And everything in the future.
I like that.
So I think that's something else that history from upbringing, you know what I'm saying? When and everybody brings this up, but you talk about our history, our past, where you come from, no voting and all of these different historical things that are happening in our Black community. So when we finally get to that age where Black people are living good, they're able to get a house. Your grandma owned her house. You know what I'm saying? She's able to get a good job. That's enough for them.
That's enough for them. Right.
That feels like they've made it.
Once again, Maya, and I had to realize, Maya, everybody rich is not my rich. Everybody wealthy is not my wealthy.
That's
so
true
y'all
too.
start to write
That's
down. Y'all
true
start
too.
to figure
Even in family.
out. Y'all figure out. What is the amount you want to make monthly that you would say I'm rich, that you would say that I'm comfortable? What's good enough for you?
Right.
It's not going to be what mine is.
Right. And I'm so happy that you bring that up, Desiree, because now I want to challenge y'all to, if y'all do, Desiree say don't share your big ideas to small people, but to test if the person is a small-minded person, ask them that question. What's your number for a successful life? If their number is not in the same figure as your number, that person doesn't need to hear your idea because they're not prepared. They can't see past $300,000.
It's almost, and it's so crazy you say that because when I tell people, Maya, straight up, like, I want $500,000 a month, $100,000 a month. It's almost somebody look at you like a ghost just spooked them because it's like that's what are you talking about? It's exactly what I said. I want $100,000 to $500,000 a month.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to family, and because we both never experienced anyone who has reached, I don't know if you have or not inside your family. I haven't. I mean, I have my grandpa, and he is successful, but we never really had, a close relationship. I never had nobody close that I can get mentorship where that's reaching those numbers that I know I want to have for myself. And I've seen different things, and it's kind of made me know that there is a lifestyle out there that's more than what I have lived in as a child. But what is it for you, or what was it for you that was like, I know I could get 500, 100,000, not seeing that within family? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's definitely not within my family, but just being on the, let me tell y'all, it is so crazy, man. I don't know, maybe I think so deep on things, but just seeing other family members, maybe like I'm going to get on the plane or something, what they eating, how they moving, what they wearing. Sometimes it's not even about what they wearing, where they sitting, how they talking. I'm riding past, shouts out to my mentor, but I used to do this before my mentor even said it. I used to go through neighborhoods that houses cost $3 million, $4 million, and it used to almost do something to me. Like it gave me chills that the fact that it's a human being in that
just
house,
like you,
just like me. It don't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter who you are, woman or man. You are living, woman or man, I'm sorry, you are living in this house. Why can't I?
Right.
So that was almost my, like, Desiree, it doesn't just stop here.
Right.
It doesn't just stop here where you know what you know or what your family, how far you seen your family go. It can get better. It can get, way more than what you see.
No, definitely.
Get, definitely. What I mean? So I would say, Maya, me driving past these houses.
I was about to ask you, was that it for you?
These cars, Lamborghinis, Porsches, why can't I have it?
It's crazy that you said that, because that is true. Once you experience or once you see something, you know the growth of something. I know exactly. Now, when you explain it like that, I remember exactly the moment when I told myself that, like, I want to do this for me. Yeah. Right? I used to work for Polo the Don. Shout out to Polo the Don. I used to work for his record label when I was in college. And we had an artist, Veronica Vega, and we were in Miami. And we were flying out to Miami, and I stayed at this nice hotel I've never even heard of. And my mom worked at hotels for years. So I know the Marriotts, I know the Hiltons. This was a hotel name I had no idea about, right? And they knock on my door as soon as I check in with champagne and a fruit tray. Mind you, I'm 19. I got my own room, balcony, lavish room downtown in Miami. And I'm like, oh no, I didn't order this. I'm scared. Like, please don't put this on this man's car. Like, I don't know. They're like, no, it's free. Like, y'all are royal. Y'all stay with us all the time. Like, this is for y'all. It had my name on it. Welcome, Maya. Thank you for staying with us. And in that moment, I realized, like, wow, not only is this experience amazing, but I want to get that luxury treatment because I am paying to stay here multiple times, not based on my record label. You get what I'm saying? I realized, like, dang, I know this hotel costs a lot of money. So it's like, I know I need more money. I just knew at that point I wanted to live a certain type of lifestyle, but I wanted me to fund it. Does that make sense? I didn't want nobody else to fund it. I just needed that little dose to even see that it was possible and say, okay, now I know what I need to do to get there. So for you, what was your first moment was it that drive through that first nice neighborhood? Like, what was it for you that was like?
So I don't know. My head always been on my shoulder since a little girl. I swear to God, people used to tell me all the time, like, what's your age? I always acted older than my older sister.
You do have
people
an old
used
soul.
to always tell me you just more mature. I don't know where it came from. I just know, once again, I'm tired of living on food stamps. I'm tired of living check to check. I'm tired of hearing the word broke. I'm tired, like, you do not have to live like that. Like, who said that you have to live like that?
Right.
Like, if we just make it okay, like, I don't know, some people are okay with, the government taking care of them. That's cool. That's not my end goal. I'm good on that. I don't want to have to stress about a light bill. I don't want to have to stress about now your lights on prepaid. Once you run out the $20, your lights it off. Like, it get deep, y'all. So I was just tired of living the life that I was living. And I don't know if anybody else can understand where I'm coming from or feel where I'm coming from. And if you do, drop below because I'm so serious. The hood, the ghetto, whatever word you want to call it, push me, bro. Like, I cannot, and people ask me to this day, like, that's why you don't have kids. Oh, girl, you should have kids. You'll be a good mom. I'm not ready for kids. Yeah. And I'm not saying not able to take care of a child because I raised siblings as a child when I was younger.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're talking about I was an adult at 13 years old and people are looking at me crazy, but I had to fend for myself at 13 years old. So what I'm trying to tell you is, it gotta be in you, y'all. Like, it gotta be in you.
But we was just talking about you know when a person has that energy to want to change their mindset, and then somebody who's just saying, Oh yeah, it's a mindset thing. It's a mindset. The passion behind it, the energy behind it, like how you was just preaching to these folks.
Like seriously,
it's that deep. And
if
when it clicks, you will know. For the people who don't know that feeling that I'm talking about, it hasn't clicked for you yet. Because I just got it maybe 6 months ago, and I thought I was on it. Mind you, I've been working. I always said I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've always said I wanted to do these things since a child. I used to be acting as a child, so I always knew I wanted to do something of my own. But it just now clicked. The seriousness of steps, the seriousness of not sharing your ideas to small-minded people, the seriousness of you want your family to be right next to you when you win, but sometimes you got to leave them right there, go get it, and then bring them back up. Bring them once you've already made it. You might not be able to bring them with you because they might bring you down.
Exactly.
Understanding boundaries. Even ma or sister or grandma, I didn't like how you said that. It was something just the other day that my dad said that I didn't really like. It wasn't anything that hurt my feelings or anything like that, but it was something where it was like, don't say that. You know what I'm saying? Respect me. Respect what I have going on. And let's just leave it at that. But setting those boundaries. And
let's just leave it at that because
to the closest people.
You speaking your negativity in my ear have now went to my self-conscious once again to now I'm second guessing myself. So leave your negativity on the other side of the phone or behind your lips.
Facts.
And that's all I'm going to say. If you don't have nothing nice to say about any business adventure that I'm giving you, that I'm coming to you, you'll understand later. You might not understand now, but you'll understand later. But if you don't got nothing nice to say, then don't say it at all.
You know, but my grandma just was telling us too that you don't really need to be, just like you just said. She didn't say it necessarily small-minded people, but don't share stuff you don't want an opinion on. Because as soon as you share something, you open a person up to have that opinion. So then I had to think to myself, it made me think just today, and it's so many times you hear things, and this is the thing, going back to hearing and listening. You hear your people tell you stuff all the time, and you hear it, but it's at one point where you actually listen to what they're saying and make it work for you. And when my mom told me about this today, same thing my grandma always said, don't share your opinions. Don't share stuff if you don't want nobody to have an opinion on it. It made me think like, damn, anytime I'm talking to somebody, I need to be privy and ask myself, Maya, do I want their opinion before I share this? That type of practice, it changes your mindset. Those are the little practices that I'm talking about, just asking yourself that question. And then it will train you to say, no, I don't want that opinion, so let me not share that with that person. Because I know that if I get the opinion that I don't like back, it's going to change my subconscious. It's going to make me think differently. It's going to alter my happiness just based off that. You get what I'm saying?
Once again, that goes back into, and I guess we'll dive into that as well, your circle, your friendship, who you surround yourself with. Because if you surround yourself with the right people, then anytime you come and tell them any idea, they're going to do nothing but uplift you. They're going to do nothing but tell you, okay, what's our next steps to get there? So once again, if everybody in your circle you can't even go to anybody in your circle about nothing. Everybody's going to give you that opinion you don't want, that negativity you don't want. Then you got to change up your circle. You got to change up your proximity. You got to change up the way that you think, the way that you talk, the way that you even who you hang around with.
Yeah, and it really starts with family. Honestly, if you're close with your family. Not everyone is close with your family, but if you're anything like me, I'm very close with my people. And it's the people that we spend the most time with. It's the people that we spend the most time with that have the biggest opinion. That are totally opposite on page from you most of the time. It's those people.
Because it's so weird because shout out to my mentor too. He said the people say strangers support them more, and the reason why strangers support you more is because they don't know who the past Maya is.
Gotcha.
But somebody that knew you for all these years, not saying that you're a joke, but I knew you for all these years, so it's kind of hard for me to even go with your flow that you're trying to switch up on me. Rather than a stranger, if I just met you we're building with dad, Des. If I just met y'all,
all you know is building with Des.
Building with Des.
Yeah.
She bought her credit. She bought this. She bought that. But somebody that knew me 10 years ago, that went to my high school, that went to my elementary school, takes me almost as a joke, because it's like, this was a thug Desiree who used to like to fight, who used to be in everything, who used to get suspended, right? But I'm a changed person. So at the end of the day, it's kind of hard for the people that been knew you to actually
accept your change.
Accept your change.
Accept your change.
Yes, I like that. Accept your change. Rather than somebody who you just met only know the new Desiree, the new Maya who you became.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why people say, oh, a stranger support me better than somebody that I knew for 10 years. They will, because that's all they know is the new person that you showing right now. So
that's facts for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk about perception, and we were talking a little bit about why earlier before we got on our podcast too. We spoke
Maya,
about
let them know your why.
I was just about to tell you, like, I was telling you earlier, I felt like in the beginning a why needed to be a reason.
And
like,
it doesn't.
How you said, you know, your why is like your siblings. Like, I felt like it needed to be like an actual thing, like something to be the why. And I realized it doesn't. It could simply just be lifestyle change. For me, I truly feel like lifestyle is my why. Like, I really want
more for yourself.
Like, and that's okay. To think about it. I want my house to be clean weekly. Period. Whether I want to clean it or I pay somebody to clean it. When I don't feel like cooking, I want to be able to call somebody and say, it's been a long day. Can you come stop by and cook for my family?
Not order fast food.
And not order fucking fast food. Sorry.
Not order what, Maya?
Not order freaking fast food. It's not good for you. It's not good for you.
It's not good for you. And a home cooked meal hit different every time.
It hits different every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to just, if my kids need to do an activity, that they're able to do that. Like,
and you know what? I love that, Maya, because mine is similar as well. Like we mentioned before, my why is my siblings.
Yeah.
And the reason I go that hard is because I already told you all. Y'all can rewind back the episode. You know, it wasn't my Dukes, it wasn't Dad, whatever the case may be. So, like, with my siblings, I go so hard for them. First of all, I don't have kids. So anybody want to know who my kids are? They're my siblings.
And
I
they
got
really
4
are.
of them. 3 girls and a boy. Okay. So those are my kids. I got 4 kids. I take care of them. They live with me. They live with my older sister as well. We got them split up. Fast forward, they are my why.
Yes.
And the reason why is because little things, y'all, from getting their hair done. My sister just joined the stepping team. Like, to be able to tell her, yeah, girl, how much it costs. Like, Miracle play the band.
I was about to say she wanted to play the band.
To be able to get her instrument, right? To see that smile on their face, something that they couldn't do at first. I enjoy that. It almost like, it's times where I don't even want to tear up right here, but it's times for real, y'all. I love the fact that they can depend on me.
Yeah,
you know,
that you're the chosen one,
and I'm the chosen one. And I decide to, because people tell me all the time, Desiree, you 25 years old, you do not have to take on that responsibility. These are not your kids. These are your siblings, and I get it. But I cannot watch them go through nothing like I went through, and I know that I can help in some way.
Right.
So that's my why. That's why I go so hard, because the time where I tell them no, I'm not doing something right. I'm slacking on something because I gotta get it. And that's my why. So every time that I don't want to get up, I don't want to post, I don't want to get on live, somebody is
relying on you. You getting that text, sis, can I get this?
That's my why.
6, can I get that?
And it feels so good, y'all. I'm talking about for back to school, for Christmas. I went crazy. You know what I mean? Went crazy. So it feels good no matter if I went broke or not.
I love that.
It made me feel good to put a smile on that face.
I love that. Even Christmas, with y'all setting up the tree and all.
Even Christmas, man.
That's big. That's big.
Right there.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Des.
Shout out to Big Desi. I'm trying
Big
to do my
Big
thing.
Sis. Big
You know
Desi, Big Sis.
So, I love y'all. I love y'all.
But that's important though. Is knowing your why. Understanding that it's not where you come from, but where you want to go.
Come on, Maya.
Knowing where you want to go, and knowing that where you want to go trumps everything else until you get there.
Exactly.
I was just telling on my live the other day, on my last Mondays, I was talking about going back to that consistency thing and not stopping until you not only reach, but maximize the goal.
Come on.
Not
maximize.
reach the goal, but maximize it.
I like that.
And we don't stop until we have hit beyond what we wanted to do. And when you get to that type of mentality,
Yes.
when you get to that type of mindset, you will keep going.
You will.
You will keep going, but you have to really, truly want it. I think a lot of y'all are at home and y'all don't really want it. Y'all don't really want it. I feel like a lot of y'all, I'm just being honest.
She's just being honest.
I feel like we're not solution-based people.
We're not
we
problem.
stay in those oh, well, I was raised like this, or I got these
So I
kids,
gotta do
or I gotta do this,
like,
or this.
Right.
It ain't no hustle. And I'm pretty sure it can't be taught. I'm convinced it can't be taught. I really feel like it's just in people, and it's not in people. And a lot of people think that it can be taught because of the social media thing. I think a lot of people
and it's so
think,
crazy you say that, because I tell my platform all the time, Maya, it's my job to give you the education. It's your job to execute.
use it. Yes, and execute.
So if you don't execute, if you leave here, you can take all this information. I could tell you that I made all this money, and I could tell you the exact steps. But if you don't execute on the steps that I just told you, then sum it up, Maya, because
yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm not taking. So if you want to kick it with me,
come on now.
I'm not taking the excuses of environment, who I was raised by,
Yep.
the excuses of I was just, I forgot to tell y'all this. We just set up our second vending machine, right? And it's at a dispatching job. And I told myself, I'm not taking nobody saying that it's they ain't got no money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or there's no work out there for them, because we're not thinking outside the box.
Right.
You're not even, there's a dispatching jobs. There are this job. There's this. It's so many different ways to make money.
Yeah.
It's so many different ways to increase your livelihood. It's so many different ways to grow outside of the space that you're already in. You're just not thinking outside of the box.
Come on now.
We're in this closed box, what we're comfortable in. We're in this box that our parents put us in because they were comfortable in that
and we
box.
almost don't want to climb out the box.
We don't.
Get your ass out the box.
They scared when we climb out, it's going to be a cliff, they're going to fall.
But not knowing when you climb out, it's a ladder that's already attached to the
take
box.
you up.
That's going to, that's going to help you get out. Okay, because the box so high.
Okay, so you're going to get down.
You're going to get
and
down.
And then that same ladder you're going to use to
Come on.
all the way up.
We scared to get on top of the box.
I'm all the way up.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm all the way up.
Hold on now.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Y'all ain't trying to get up. They ain't trying to get up.
They ain't trying to get up.
Climb out the box.
Climb out the box. It's a ladder rating right there for you.
Leave your past in your past.
Leave your past in your past.
Leave your past in your past.
Relearn and unlearn. Unlearn and relearn.
Unlearn and relearn.
Unlearn and relearn.
Unlearn and relearn.
That's
like very, 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 very important.
And stop understanding and understand.
And understand. Stop hearing and listening.
Okay.
And not only listening, but listen good enough to where you take what somebody's advice is and you make it your own. Because everybody's advice is from their lively experience, not from yours.
Exactly.
We
gonna wrap it up.
We wrapping it up. And
that was just let's talk about it.
And that was just let's talk about it. So now it's hotty toddy, hotty toddy. It's getting hot. It's getting spicy. I'm sweating.
Dead.
Hey.
No, I'm sweating for real. Okay.
For real. No.
For real.
You'll never find dun 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 a hot toddy like mine.
Come on now, hot toddy like her.
Someone who's dropping gems.
Come on.
Every show.
Come on.
Alrighty.
Back into it, y'all. Welcome. We're diving into hot toddy. As you all know, every hot toddy section, we are dropping those
gems.
Come on now. And if you don't catch them, then
You're slipping.
Oh, don't slip too hard,
Just
baby.
rewatch.
They not paying you. Okay.
All right,
Maya. Let's take a sip. Let's take a sip. We ain't gonna do
course.
like that.
It's good today.
I'll take that.
Shout out to the tea lady.
I'll take that.
Okay, so business gems. Let's hop into real estate. Last week I told y'all a little bit about interest rates. They're not really going down. They're only really going up. But I want you guys to know that there are options out here. Okay, rent to own. Let me tell you something. I just found out too. Did y'all know that when you're renting your apartment, they base the increase off a percentage, which is in your lease. So make sure you read your lease.
Read your lease. Most of the time,
your lease.
We don't read them, Maya.
We don't. We don't read a lot of documents.
We just happy to get approved
for anything, and that's something that we need to change.
Yes.
But I just found I went down to my leasing office. I was like, yeah, I never got nothing for the renewal or whatever. They were like, yeah, we're working on that because the last management had rental increases at 9%. So do you guys realize 9% is very high?
It's very what?
That's very high. That's taking like a $1,200 rent and turning it into like $1,500, and you're wondering why your rent is increasing $200, $300. You're not looking at the interest,
right?
You're not looking at the interest on those leased-in apartments. So what now we're offering, what a lot of people are doing is they're doing the rent to owns, and with the rent to owns, a lot of people also get confused with that family drama where you listening to your old folks like credit cards. They say don't swipe your credit card because it's gonna get you
swipe
debt.
them every day.
They gonna say the same thing about rent to owns. Don't get you that. That's just gonna put you in debt. No, it's gonna get you closer to buying a home.
Especially if you're not in the predicament.
If you're not in the position. And the position it's a lot of requirements. You don't just need credit. You need money.
Come on.
Okay? So if you only have credit, getting into a rent to own and getting you into a position to feel like you're about to own a house, to experience owning a home, is going to push you to save that money so that you can purchase the next year.
I like that.
So if you guys are interested in that, make sure that you tap in with me and my real estate team, Smith Fortune Realty Group, because not only are we helping people get into a home if they can't even afford it, but we're also working with you every step of the way to, by the time that year is up, you're able to purchase that home.
I like that, Maya. And if y'all don't know, me and Maya are also a business partner on the podcast, but also a business partner in real estate. I help her clients get their credit to where they need to get. So that's important, you all. If you reach out to her, you're reaching out to me. It don't matter.
Facts.
Was that for your hottie toddy? That's all you giving to people?
That's all I'm giving them today.
Y'all, she been a little steady over there. That's all we going. If she say rent to own, y'all make sure y'all get y'all house because y'all can rent to own it, okay?
And I guess I'll drop this too. If you think you're ready, if you think you're ready to buy, typically closing costs is about 6%.
Come on, Mike, stop holding back the tea.
Okay, so let me tell you, because I say y'all need money, but let me tell you what type of money you need if you need to buy a house. Okay,
come on.
It's typically about 6%. And that's kind of like if you're doing a FHA, but I ain't gonna get into all the lending and stuff like that.
Okay.
But typically speaking, you're probably gonna be about 6%. So like on a $300,000 home, 6% of that is like 18.
Let's go, and I'm finna help y'all out. Go
18,000. So that's what I'm saying. Where rent to own is an option. You got that 600 credit score. You got that 650. That's 700 because you went to Desiree, but you didn't save that 10, 18, $20,000 to close and to put down on the home.
But I'm finna help y'all out though, real quick.
Yeah, talk to him.
I like that real quick. Guess what my hot toddy is? We going to business and personal. You know, I'm dropping on both ends. Piggyback off what you said. If you all are in apartments, you've been there for years, 4 years, 3 years, we should be reporting our rent to our credit
bureau.
Oh, okay. If you all need a company, Rent Reporters is one. Rent Cornea is one, and I'll drop the links below for you all as well. But we should be reporting our rent. Y'all paying on time, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That better be.
Everybody out here should be paying on time. And if you paying on time, that same amount you paying, $2,000, $1,500, $1,800, $3,000, it's reporting that amount to your personal credit, which now is a line, which now is history on your report,
credit report,
payment history.
Yep.
Age. Okay, so you've been at this apartment 2-3 years. They're going to report
on-time
that.
payments.
On-time payments.
And this is, I'm sorry to cut you out there, because a lot of people, and this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying get out there and network. Stop listening to your mamas and your daddies, because people are not even telling y'all that y'all can report y'all fucking
Come on now, and it's so crazy. I dived into that, Maya, because not only when you go for a house, they see that you have been paying somebody $3,000 a month when your mortgage is only going to be $1,100, $1,200, $1,300. So you're able to pay somebody $3,000 a month and been paying on time for 2 to 3 years. That looks good on your credit.
Of course we'll approve you.
Come on.
Approved.
Second gem I wanted to give you all, when Maya said that you got to have that closing cost, if you got business credit cards and know how to liquidate your business credit cards, now you turn that into cash. Now that's your down payment for your brand new house. So now that y'all got the personal gem where I told you you can report your rent history to your personal credit. Now let me give y'all another gem to what Maya was saying. You need that closing cost, that down payment, which now you can liquidate a business credit card. So this is what I'm telling you all, the perks of having business credit, because you can liquidate that credit card, turn it into cash. Now that's your down payment for your closing costs, and it never hits your personal credit. It never messes your debt to income ratio on your personal credit, and now you have time to pay back your business credit card. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Make sure y'all go follow me at Building with Des for any more financial tips.
You hit them right on the nose, Des.
I hope so, because I think a lot of people, so you scared. This is why people be scared. Like, oh, I ain't got $10,000 put down. I ain't got $50,000 put down.
They don't know it's plays out here.
It's plays out here to get you that $10,000, $15,000.
That's very, very true. So today was a good one.
Today was a good one.
Y'all drop it. I was about to say, drop how y'all felt.
Yeah.
Drop how y'all felt in the comments.
Yeah.
Drop how y'all felt in the comments. Make sure you tune in, tap in on all social media. Take it for what it's worth.
Take it for what it's worth.
This episode, like we said, was about family. It's not where you come from, but where you're going. We dropped some great gems. So hottie toddy. Any last words for them?
Any last word, man? Y'all get on y'all. Okay? Y'all make sure y'all get on y'all grind.
Facts.
And make sure anything that you get in education, make sure you execute. Make sure
you what, Des?
Execute, because that's the first thing. Oh, and I'm gonna leave with this.
Grind,
you might be at step 5, right? So being able to get from that 1 to 5, know that you can get from the 5 to 10. You feel what I'm saying? So don't slow down. Don't keep doing what you're doing, and take your steps. As long as you're taking your steps, you'll get where you need to get.
And you hustling, grinding, and executing.
Thank y'all for tuning in with Take It For What It's Worth. Make sure y'all follow us on all platforms. See y'all for later.